I'm constantly traveling 250 days a year. I'm on a plane in a different country. So it gets really lonely sometimes. I've been through so much in life and I don't really trust people.
The American Meme is a fundamentally terrible Netflix original documentary on celebrity life that is supposed to make you reflect on the hardships and glamour of being a celebrity. The only thing it made me reflect on was how terrible of a decision I had made when I chose to watch this. However, apparently I'm the crazy one, as this film has outstanding reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. Let's go ahead and read some of those reviews. Rachel Leishman says about American Meme, I highly recommend the American Meme. It is going to change the way you view both social media and society. Not too absurd of a review here, but the second one is a little bit much. Naomi Fry says, what is fascinating and valuable about American Meme is its ability to reveal the depression, loneliness, and sheer Sisyphean tedium of ceaselessly chasing what will most likely end up being an ever-diminishing share of the online attention economy. Lastly, Owen Gleiberman has my favorite review when he says, it's both highly entertaining and an essential snapshot of the narcotic, voyeuristic, parasitic American fishbowl. Owen's ability of self-fellatio in his reviews is unreal. Now, let's move on to the real content. An unfortunately large amount of this movie is just rich people complaining about the problems that come with their fame and wealth. Take, for instance, Emily Ratajkowski here.
Privacy is dead. Photographs used to be so personal. Now, any picture you take is intended to be shared.
It must be so difficult constantly having to share pictures when you chose to be a model based around sharing pictures. Emily has a point here. It is literally impossible to take a photo and not share for other people. Am I supposed to feel bad for someone who travels the world going on vacations as a job and is a millionaire? Emily has built a career off of being an attractive woman. I'm not saying she shouldn't have. If people are willing to follow her for being attractive and she can make money off of it, then go for it. I just don't want to hear about how hard it is to constantly be in the public eye when you chose to put yourself there.
I've definitely felt broken in my life, but I always come back with resilience. I'm a strong girl, woman.
Yes. Paris Hilton has had such a difficult life. Being born into a billionaire family and becoming rich off of doing really nothing is a real trial by fire. I can't even begin to fathom the struggles that come with never having to worry about money once in your life. Paris, throughout this documentary, talks about all of the terrible things in her life as a celebrity. Never once does Paris acknowledge the fact that she grew up in one of the best safety nets ever. At one point even talks about how hard it was trying to distance herself from just being the Hilton Hotel granddaughter. It breaks my heart that she had to struggle so much to disassociate herself from a family worth billions of dollars. I won't harp too long on the rich people complaining, as I would be rehashing the same things over and over. The very opening of the documentary is this long montage about social media and how kids these days are all absorbed in their technology and how bad it is. We receive a lecture about all of these stupid things such as the Tide Pod Challenge or the Fire Challenge. This opening montage is supposed to set the tone for the film as this profound reflection of what is wrong with today's youth, but sounds more like an old man complaining about kids these days. However, the movie continues to try to seem #deep and continues to put in moments like this.
People who do what I do, which is basically a cultural commentary.
He even refers to what he does as
Like, as a new kind of art form.
Now don't get me wrong, I'm a man who enjoys a good meme and may or may not have far too many on my phone at the moment. However, it is a massive stretch to refer to memes as art or a cultural commentary, especially when you aren't even making them and are just stealing them. Although me and any rational person would refer to what the Fat Jew does as stealing, Emily Ratajkowski has a different take on it.
As far as like plagiarism goes, I think it's always been happening. Think about how many politicians are using the same recycled language about like morality and about family.
Wow, this just blew my mind. I hadn't even considered that someone posting another person's content and making millions off of it is the same thing as using the same language around political issues. Is Emily saying that plagiarism isn't a problem because people have been doing it, or what the Fat Jew does isn't plagiarism? I don't know for sure, but maybe I should plagiarize a joke or two so I can be funnier. Now, the #deep section would have been longer if I hadn't taken a section specifically for the Fat Jew, because the Fat Jew is by far the worst thing about this documentary. The Fat Jew is an annoying man-child who steals content from others, benefits from it, and doesn't even feel remorse for it.
You can't do what I do and be thin-skinned. Otherwise, it will fuck you up.
Maybe in this instance a thick body translates into thick skin. However, the fat Jew is wrong here. Doing what he does doesn't require thick skin. It requires not caring about doing terrible things to people such as stealing their content and profiting off of it. He addresses this with,
Anytime someone says, hey, that was my thing, automatic credit.
"Hey man, I may have made tons of money off of you, but I gave you credit though. Oh no, I won't give you any of the money. That's absurd, but I put it in the caption." The fat Jew also seems to not realize that he got to where he is off the hard work of others.
People think that the whole thing just kind of fell into my lap. And to be honest with you, I don't really care. At the end of the day, I'm doing better than most of them.
Not only does he fail to recognize how he got where he is, by stealing content, but he also addresses it by saying he's more successful than the people that are criticizing him. He either doesn't understand the criticisms of him, which would make sense knowing his intelligence, or he doesn't care, which would make sense given his moral bankruptcy. But apparently, through it all, he isn't obnoxious about his success.
I am the embodiment of the new American dream. I'm the CEO of a wine company. And look, I'm not obnoxious about it.
I guess he does embody the American dream in the sense that his success is built on the labor of others, but to say he's obnoxious about it, he's absolutely delusional. Not only is he delusional, but he's not very intelligent either.
Wow. I mean, these are individualized photos. This is one of the most incredible things I've ever seen.
What, have you never seen one of these mosaics before? They are very common, and a 5-second Google search showed me a website that can do them for you.
What's crazy about this is not only can we tell people that we're doing this and actually fool them and get stories written from credible places that won't do any research and will just believe it because we say it.
First off, the two articles shown clearly have the word apparently in the headline, meaning they don't know for sure if you're going to be coming out with a product line. It isn't deep that you tricked people into writing a story here. You straight up announced a product line and then laughed about tricking people into reporting that you might have a new product line coming. There isn't anything deep here. This isn't an experiment with the media. This is just saying you were going to do something you aren't going to do. This film does say some good things about pop culture and mental health a few times. It's rare, but it's there.
What I loved about it was that I didn't need anybody's permission to perform. I didn't have to audition for anybody. I could do whatever the fuck I wanted.
Brittany Furlan is right here. The rise of the internet and apps like Vine has exposed us to a new means to reach people and perform for those people. We don't have to rely on being approved to do something by somebody. We can just do it. Of course, this has its downsides, as oftentimes people post things they regret later on, but the internet certainly has opened us up to more content and freedom than ever before.
That's why I can't go to bed sober. Because I just sit there and think about all this shit and argue with myself.
The other thing that this movie does well is show the human side of these people. Two of the main stars in this documentary, Kirill and Brittany Furlan, have struggled with mental health issues for a long time, and getting a glance into what is going on behind the scenes has helped these two people made the documentary not entirely unbearable. I do appreciate the look into the darker parts of these people's lives to remind us that they are human too.
I started self-mutilating. No one knew that about me. I would wear long sleeves in the summertime so no one could see anything. I just wanted to die, but I didn't have enough strength to do it.
These human moments thrown in by the filmmakers really serve to make it not an entirely terrible experience. Anyway, those are my thoughts on the film. The filmmakers tried to come off as deep and as if they were making a cultural commentary, but came out looking as shallow as many of the people they seemed to be mocking at times. It seems like an out-of-touch documentary on millennial life with constant "we live in a society" moments. At one point I had to use the restroom and I paused the film to go do so and realized I still had an hour left. So if I had to give it a rating, I would give it a "I wanted to end my suffering after 30 minutes" out of 10. But hey, I'm just a random idiot on the internet with another opinion. If you enjoyed the movie, don't let my opinion change yours.
A lot of the Little Hiltons were just comparing me to Jesus. It's a huge compliment. It just makes me feel really special.